Beginning today, and we're going to focus on a nature meditation. And this meditation can take place either outdoors, in nature, and all you need is a tree, and perhaps maybe a tree that you like, or a tree that maybe you have a connection with. I know you mightn't have any idea what I'm talking about, having a connection with a tree, but maybe just begin by finding a tree that you like and that you're comfortable being where you are with the tree. Alternatively, this meditation can be done indoors and simply use your imagination in being with and being in nature. So I'm going to begin with a few lines from one of my favourite poets, a Kerry girl called Rachel Holsted. And this poem is entitled Stop and Stand, and is very much about what we do with the tree and in the tree meditation. Stop and stand on your own patch of ground, where your feet are. Really stand there. All of you, body and mind. From this place comes all your wisdom, comes every answer that is possible for you to know right now. So as the poem suggests, out in nature, this is about stopping and standing near that tree, but in the confines of your own place, feel free to do whatever fits for you right now. Certainly you're welcome to stop and stand, and maybe there's even a tree in your garden where you might be able to go and stand and look out at. So once you find yourself in that place where you're comfortable to be for the duration of this meditation, about 20 minutes, the invitation is to begin to use your senses, the sense of your sight, to see whether it's in your mind or whether it's in actuality, the tree that's before you. Simply stop and stand and see. Notice what comes to your eyes. Notice the space between you and the tree. Acknowledge the season that you're in, whether there are budding leaves, flowering blossoms, fresh new growth, fullness of leaves, autumn glories of different colour, or bare winter branches. Notice what is. Notice how the shape of the tree and the colours speak to you. And it's important not to rack your brains trying to think of things. Simply allow the tree to speak. And if it doesn't speak, and if you've no idea what that means, simply look and see. Allowing the shape and the form and maybe the movement in the tree to speak to you, and maybe in your body sense the movement of the tree and sense the strength of the tree, whether it's a little whippet or a big full old tree with a thick bark. Each have their strengths. Reflect maybe for a moment on what your strengths are. What helps you to stand, through the difficulties of life. And as you stand and look, move down to the base of the tree and consider the roots as they go underground and give the tree balance and energy from the earth, from everything that has been in the earth and grown in the earth before it, to give life to the tree. Picture in your mind's eye the root system pushing out its roots deep into the earth to help the tree find its ground and its balance. And reflect for a moment or two on your root system. What is it that helps you find groundedness and balance? Is there any way that these support systems that you have need more nurturing? Is there anything that you're aware of or that might come to you that would help you to nurture them so that they can empower you, help you to grow and give your life energy? continue to use the sense of your sight to look and see the tree, looking at its strongest point, perhaps at the trunk or the base, where it's really rooted and grounded, and then allowing your eyes to travel up and outward to the smallest branches. And just notice the difference from where the tree is rooted and grounded, how it's still and steady, how that stillness and steadiness gives balance to the whole tree, and how as you move upwards and outwards to the smallest branches, you notice how the tree gives way and moves with the elements. The wind reacts to the rain, reacts to whatever is really thrown at it. But yet, at its base and at its centre, it remains strong, it remains grounded, it remains steady and sure. Yet at those outer reaches, the tree is willing to bend and flow. The tree is willing to move where it needs to move, so that it won't break. Sometimes we need to be flexible so that we don't break. Are there any ways that we need to learn to be more pliable, so that we don't give under pressure? The invitation now is to move, if you can, underneath the tree, or else move in your imagination. Move towards the strong trunk and use your sense of touch, maybe to reach out, first of all, noticing what the bark of the tree is like. Oftentimes the bark looks rough and scaly, but yet notice what it's like when you put your hand on it, maybe both hands. Allow the tree to speak to you through its touch. Is there any surprise there? Use a sense of curiosity to explore the tree through touch. Touching it at its strongest places, and then if possible at its weakest and those in between places. Allowing it to speak to you through the sense of touch. And perhaps now use both senses, the sense of sight and the sense of touch as you explore the underneath and the fullness of the tree. Its leaves and its branches, its buds and its flowers. Whatever way the tree is presenting itself to you at this time. And when you're there, maybe introduce a sense of smell. Notice if there's any particular scent from any particular aspect of the tree. Perhaps earthiness, or perhaps perfume if it's in flower. Notice as you introduce more senses the effect of this in your heart. Just allowing to drop out of the thinking mode into the heart mode. Allowing the exploration to be more heart-centered. Every time you notice yourself going back up into your head, thinking this or thinking that, or maybe wanting it to be a different way, just drop back down again into the heart and allow the tree to speak from its heart to your heart. In your own time, leave that underneath space of the tree, but just before you do, look upwards. Notice the tangle of branches or leaves, the light of the sky against the shape, the fullness or the bareness of the tree. The variety of shades and perhaps dappled light created by the foliage and the array of branches as they're spread out before you. Allow all the sense of the fullness of the life of the tree now to speak to you, to speak to your heart. And when you're ready, come out again and stop and stand and look once more towards the tree. And I'll finish this meditation as you just stand on that ground with the remaining lines from Rachel Holsted's poem Stop and Stand, which go like this. And when you see hurt, hold tight to your sword and know that you cannot fix another. Instead, bear witness with the ground to that other body, to all its found and unfound wisdom. And when you think, I want to take your suffering, Just stand. And when you think, I want to take your pain, just stand. And when you think, I cannot bear to stand here, I have to do something, just stand. And if you really must do something, then remember love and breathe it and be it. And let the seams of your soul soften and melt away, so the boundary between me and you is no longer there, and we are both love and witness to love, ground and standing feet. Question and answer.